Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's the Michael Myers. Uh, Welcome back to a brand new live stream. I know I was just live. I was just live yesterday. Uh, and yeah, man, I decided we're gonna be going live again tonight, Friday night. Happy Friday to all of you guys. Hope you guys are having a good Friday. Hope you guys are having a good Friday, man. Like I said, decided to go live again today. And we're gonna be talking about, I was actually gonna do a video on this. But I'm like, let's just do it live. Let's see how, the traffic is on a Friday night. Like I said, I haven't been going live. Yesterday was like my first live I've done in a minute. So yeah, man, I mean, we're gonna get straight into it. I got this top 5 horror movie ending idea yesterday. I've been trying to do it for a while now, but yesterday or last night, I actually was watching the original Child's Play, and once it finished, I'm like, yeah, I gotta do it. Might be my next video or live stream. So we're gonna get straight into it. Right now, I'm also in the middle of working on another top 10 video. I'm gonna be doing my top 10 favorite horror movies from the 1980s. So definitely, that's one to be on the lookout for. But yeah, man, good evening. What's up, Johnny? Good evening, man. Happy Friday to you. Hope you're having a solid Friday night, man. Or evening. I know we still got some time left for the night. I know for some of you guys, it's also pretty much already the nighttime. But yeah, man, like I said, hope you guys are doing good. We're gonna get straight into it. My top 5 horror movie endings of all time. You guys could let me know what are your favorite horror movie endings of all time. You guys don't have to give me like a list. You guys could simply just give me, one, maybe that, the first one that came to mind, the first one that stands out to you guys. A lot of good ones. It actually, took me some time to put this little list together. I was gonna do a top 10, but I'm like, let's just keep it short. Yo, Nate 929. Yo, what's up, man? How you doing? Hope you're doing good, Nate. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Johnny, Nate, appreciate you guys taking the time, man, out of your night to come hang out with us. So yeah, I picked out 5 films. I also picked out another 5. These are gonna be honorable mentions. So before we get to my top favorite ending, I'm gonna be showing you guys some honorable mentions right here. So yeah, definitely let me know what are one of your favorite horror movie endings. Infinity Dragon 7, what's up, man? What's up? Glad to see you back on here. I know some of you guys were here yesterday as well. Appreciate you, man. Definitely, it's always great seeing you guys. So yeah, we're gonna get started. Gonna go through these quick. Number 5 on my list, Carrie, man. The ending from the original Carrie, pretty damn creepy. Of course, it ends with, the main chick, the main, girl that was, bullying, Carrie, part of, the group of high school girls that were, going against Carrie. And of course, by the ending, we get the, classic prom night scene. Great, man. You just, like, I really like this movie because it has that feeling, like, you really felt for, Sissy Spacek. You really felt bad for the Carrie character, she's this, vulnerable, young lady, and it's just part of the, you guys know how harsh sometimes high school could be, when it comes to bullying and all that. So when we got to the prom scene, you really felt like happy for her. You felt good about her, doing what she does, doing what she, her thing and stuff like that. Just great, man. I just love how, she takes over the whole prom scene. But the ending specifically, of course, we got the other girl who pretty much, I think she goes to like, her, the tombstone. Of course, the Carrie White burns in hell. And then out of nowhere, she comes out of the grave and pulls her in. I always thought that was great, kind of dark, especially seeing like, the whole Carrie White burns in hell and stuff like that. So yeah, man, definitely classic ending. I love Carrie, like I said, Sissy Spacek. Great job, man. Great job as Carrie. So that's number 5 for me, Carrie, the original. All right, next on the list, number 4. Like I said, I was just watching this last night. Child's Play, dude. Now I know the ending to this, it's not really like, it doesn't end like, we've had more crazy endings, right? But I remember when I saw it for the first time, because I've seen bits and pieces of Child's Play as a kid. Only movie that terrified the crap out of me as a kid. But once I got older, of course, and the fear went away or whatever, and I watched it for its entirety, I just love how, after, they shoot Chucky's head off, pretty much. They kill him for the time being. And then, of course, Karen, the mother, she gets Andy. They leave. And, of course, Alex Vincent, Andy, he looks back at the doll. The doll's all into pieces. It's burned, the head. You got Chucky's head saying, his final phrase, of course, friends to the end or whatever. Or, hi, I'm Chucky, wanna play, actually. And just, Andy, of course, this stuff was kind of, traumatizing. I mean, who for however old he was, I think it was 6. For a 6-year-old kid to really, see all these chain of events go down, like I said, for a young kid like that, the good guy doll was something he really wanted. He was attracted to it. He was, really, how do you call it? He was like in love with the good guy doll. You know what I mean? So, yeah, and you see all that. You see all that in his face. Once he like leaves the door. You just see the sense of like the whole traumatic and stuff like that, which is great. And I love the fact that how it ends. It pauses of right before the door fully closes. It like pauses on his face, and then the theme song plays. I've always loved that ending. I remember, like I said, when I first saw the ending for the first time, I'm like, great way to end the movie, and I like how the theme song comes in. I love the Child's Play theme song. That's another video I gotta do. I don't think I've done that. My top favorite horror movie theme songs. Yeah, man, I love it. I know a lot of people really love the theme song for Child's Play 2. It's like the more, you could say, memorable one. It's the more, like, they even brought it back for the Chucky show. Pretty damn good soundtrack as well. But the original, man, I love it. I love this theme song. So, great ending for Child's Play. Had to throw this in here. So yeah, man. Ending of Terrifier 1 was really good. You know what? I really gotta rewatch the first Terrifier. It's been a minute. I don't really remember exactly how it ended. Or actually, yeah, I think it ends with they gave us kind of like that cliffhanger with what was her name? The girl with the messed up face. They kind of like left on a cliffhanger. She was kind of, we all thought she was kind of gonna be in Terrifier 2. She was for a little bit, but I guess she has a bigger role in Terrifier 3, if I'm not mistaken. I still haven't seen Terrifier 3, but I love both Carrie films. Yeah, man, you know what? Even the remake I thought was good. I know they have a sequel to the original. What's it called? I think it was like a straight to DVD movie. I thought that one was okay. I thought that one was like it's worth the watch. You know, it's kind of its own thing. It kind of doesn't really follow up the original, but even the remake I saw it also the other night, man. I love, what was her name? Chloe something. You know, she's actually, since the Carrie remake, she's actually gone on and done bigger roles, which is great, dude. She's a great actress. Even the remake I thought was pretty good. 1 and 2 and me. I mean, okay. Yeah. Even like I said, even the second. I think I have the second one. I think it's called Carrie 2: The Rage or something like that. Yeah, John. Yeah, for sure. I've seen some people not really dig the Carrie remake. You could say it's a little like there is some kind of dumb stuff in there. You know, but the original, man, really great film. A24 wants to make it Infinity Dragon. Yeah, I've heard about a new Texas Chainsaw Massacre on the way or in development. I think it's gonna be called Texas Chainsaw Legacy, if I'm not mistaken. Hey man, I mean A24, I think could be a good home for Leatherface. I know, you know, A24. First thing that came to mind was X. That's really like a nice reminiscing movie of kind of like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre style of a movie. So hey, you never know. Maybe A24 could be a good home for Texas Chainsaw Man, because you guys know, yeah, it hasn't been too great for Leatherface. You know, last one, even Netflix couldn't save it. You know, couldn't save poor Leatherface. But yeah, A24 could sound like a good idea, dude. You never know. Like I said, first thing that came to mind is X. You could tell they got a lot of inspiration from Texas Chainsaw. So yeah, for sure, I think that could possibly work. Okay, number 3 on my list, John Carpenter's Halloween. Love this ending, man. Classic. I remember watching this I remember as a kid. Before I saw it at its entirety, like I said, as a kid, I would always watch bits and pieces of movies as a kid. So there's certain scenes of a lot of movies that just stick to mind because they were like engraved to me as a kid, you know, flipping through the channel or whatever the case is. But one day, you know, I was a kid, turned on AMC, and it was right in the ending, of course, when Loomis shoots Michael before he, you know, fully attacks Laurie. And of course, he falls off the balcony. Donald Pleasance looks down and he's gone. And the theme song plays. Great ending, man. That ending always stuck to me. It really always stuck to me. I thought that was a great way to end a movie like this. You know, like you're left with that question mark. You're left with that, oh shit, he's still out there, you know? And from what I heard, John Carpenter was trying to end it at that, you know? I know, like in Halloween 2, even in the Blumhouse ones, they kind of try to explain like what happened like moments after that, you know, moments he got up or whatever. I know in part 2, you know, he got up, started walking through the neighborhood. He went to, what's the name, the Elrods or whatever, you know. So yeah, of course, initially this was intended to be its own thing. Just imagine, let's say a series did not exist for Halloween. It was just this standalone movie. That would have been the perfect ending. Like I said, because it has that, you know, that suspense, has that question mark there, like, oh shit, like you're left like, wow, you know. But of course, that's not always the case. Movies get successful, a sequel got to come into play. You know what I mean? So for sure, that's pretty good, man. But yeah, classic scene. I love this. I love the ending to Halloween, man. Yo, Jigsaw rules. I'm doing pretty good, my man. I'm doing pretty good. Glad to see you on here today again. I know you were here yesterday as well, man. Jigsaw. Yeah, man, it sucks. Saw 11. It's unfortunate. It kind of sucks having to say, you know, goodbye to Saw, you know. But like I said, I hope we get more words soon from the actual people involved. But I hope you're doing good, Jigsaw. Terrifier is really good. I highly recommend it. Yeah, man, I actually do have it on Blu-ray. I got it on Blu-ray sometime after it came out. Of course, you know, I gotta have it. I'm a completist. But I haven't had the chance to check it out. I've seen movies like I know I be posting like the shorts of like now watching, but those are films that actually are playing on TV. Like I guess free movies on the thing. I actually haven't had a chance to like pop in a Blu-ray and stuff like that. Whatever's on, you know. So yeah, but I heard some good stuff about Terrifier, man. Like I was kind of like not, I wasn't fully like convinced on it because you guys know, man. Usually the third movie in most franchises are kind of crap. You know, they're kind of, you know, not that great compared to the. Terrifier 2 was good. It was okay, you know, kind of long for the kind of movie it was, but I gotta check it out, dude, for sure. Especially it's a Christmas horror movie. Those are always fun, man. So I definitely gotta check it out. It was perfect. Yeah, Johnny, I very much agree. So, like I said, this ending really, it just, like I said, if it was a standalone, it would have been like the greatest thing, you know. It was the greatest thing. Of course, like I said, once the sequels came about, they try to like, you know, show like moments right after, you know, he got up after this ended, even with the Blumhouse ones and stuff like that. But oh yeah, Johnny, for sure. Yeah, money's always the main factor. Of course, like I said, once movies get really successful, they gotta make a you know, they gotta do a follow up. And yeah, John Carpenter originally did not want to do Halloween 2. Like I said, he wanted this to be its own thing. Once he got to Halloween 2, he was like, that's it. The Myers story is done. The Laurie story is you know, done. Of course, it ends by them getting or Myers getting on fire in the hospital, and of course Halloween 3 comes into play, which was still John Carpenter, because for Halloween he wanted like each sequel of this Halloween franchise to be like a different Halloween tales, you know. That's when we got Season of the Witch. People were like, where the heck is Michael, you know? So at the time, you could say Season of the Witch was a flop. People wanted to see Michael. Yeah, and then that's when Halloween 4 came out. That's when John Carpenter, you know, stepped out. I think Halloween 3 was his last one. Same with Deborah Hill, if I'm not mistaken. That's her name. Oh yeah, for sure, Infinity Dragon. Yeah, I love Halloween 2. Like I said, even though if this was its own thing, perfect ending. Even Halloween 2, I think that's like a great sequel, dude. Like it's one of my favorite sequels of all time. Like, cause it has that same essence, like right after the original. You know, I know we had like a whole different mask. A lot of people weren't a fan of the mask in part 2. You know, we got Dick Warlock behind the mask this time. The whole hospital scene, it's just great. It's just great. And the fact that it takes place on the same night, I think that was always dope, man. I've always loved Halloween 2. I love sequels that really capture that same essence, you know, of the original. I wish they would bring Jamie Lloyd for another Halloween movie. Yeah, man, it'll be pretty cool to see Daniel Harris back. You know, you never know. You never know. We never know what's gonna happen next with Halloween. But yeah, Halloween number 3. All right, number 2. Man, now this one is kind of like, I could see a lot of people not really digging this ending or you know, a lot of people don't really, I will say, appreciate this movie for what it was, simply because after the fact, you know, there was a lot of, you know, sequel, or not a lot, there was sequels, but they kind of like, this is like one of the more spoof horror movies of all time. You know, one of the more, you know, horror movies that have been made out of parodies and all that stuff. So a lot of people, like, if people were introduced to this movie nowadays, like, people, I don't think it has the same effect on people now than it did back then. But the Blair Witch Project, dude, man, I know, I get it. You know, some people, I've seen this movie with, a while back, I've seen this movie with a few friends or whatever, a few people, and, you know, before the movie, I try to explain to them, oh, like, this is really like you gotta put yourself in that space of mind, you know, like, if this thing, you know, was really what it's presenting, right? But like I said, we're in a time where we're used to more wild shit in horror movies, that this is like kind of like, I remember watching this with a few people, right? And it ended, and they were like, "What the heck? Like, what just happened?" You know. But the ending to this, man, it's just really, it's like it's like creepy. It's like, like you don't know what the heck is going on. You know, in the ending, they go through that little place, right? And they start seeing shit or whatever. You know, the screams and all that. You know, and you're like, what the heck is going on? And then just the fact that you don't see nothing is just, to me, that's what really builds up the suspense. You know, it really makes it creepy, leaves it up to the imagination. And of course, later on in some of the sequels, they try to show the witch. We never saw the witch in this, or whatever it was. It's a witch, pretty much, but we never saw the witch in this. And I think that's, you could say, a lot of people were, you know, turned down by the fact. But to me personally, I always think it's better when you don't see whatever is going on, you know. And the ending, man, you just see, you know, whatever it is, the witch knocks the camera out of the way. And yeah, I mean, for, like I said, for the situation this movie has going on, that's what would happen. This is a found footage movie by these kids, right? They get killed. That's exactly how you would figure it would end, you know. So kind of eerie ending, creepy. But like I said, a lot of people don't really, you know, it doesn't hit the same nowadays to a lot of people. I feel like, you know, like I said, I've seen it with a few people that are like, what the heck happened? You know. And but you guys got to remember, man, this was late 90s, 1999. You guys, this is one of the more, this was kind of like a game changer, dude. It's one of the more profitable movies of all time. Like I said, it's literally just three kids with a camera, you know, in the woods. And it came out to be one of the greatest, you know, mega hit. Even the promotion, man, it was next level. It was like a game changer, you know. They were geniuses the way they marketed this movie, the way they promoted it. You know, they try to make it seem like this was a real, something that really happened, right? You know, and that's genius. If you ask me, that's genius, because they were successful enough to have people go to the movie theaters and check it out, you know. And it worked. You know, they even had like missing flyers of the kids, you know, the actors or whatever. I guess I saw like a little documentary on it. They told the actors to you know, to kind of be MIA in some kind of way, to not like be as out there, right, for the sake of the promotion. So I thought that was genius, dude. I thought that was genius how they promoted the movie. So yeah, this is a great ending, dude. Like I said, it's simple, but it's just left to your mind, you know, how to receive it, or how to preserve it. There's a scene in Halloween 3 where, oh yeah, for sure, man, they're watching the original Halloween. Yeah, Corporal Hicks. Yeah, for sure, man. I thought that was great. Of course, like I said, John Carpenter was still involved. That was still his film. Nice little Easter egg. Nice little reference, of course, you know. Can't forget where the franchise started, where the franchise came from. So that was a nice little touch, you know. Oh yeah, man, definitely Danielle Harris is great, man. I've been actually watching her podcast, her, what is it, Talk Scary to Me, with Scout Taylor Compton. Great, man. I've been like checking out some of like the reruns and stuff like that. Did you heard about Beneath the Storm? Baba Scott, I have not heard about that. I have not heard about that movie, Beneath the Storm, but I'm not gonna lie, I actually like the sequel. It would have been a better movie, no doubt. It's still a mindfuck. You know what, Johnny? I gotta rewatch The Book of Shadows. The only reason I never really cared for it too much, because it's filmed like an actual movie. Of course, after the success of this, they actually have a real budget now. They have like a real studio behind it, right? That's one of my main turnoffs with Blair Witch 2. That's why I never really like cared for it. I've seen it, but I really try to like even the latest one, what's it called, Blair Witch 2000 in 2016. Never cared for that one either. But I mean, there's a lot of movies like that, you know, shitty movies that you could consider like a mindfuck. You know, they're worth the watch. For example, Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation. I hate it. I always hated that movie. Shitty movie. It's still a shitty movie, but I remember rewatching it. Like I never cared for it, never cared about rewatching it, but I rewatched it a while back, and yeah, it's just a mind fuck. You know, you still you still go into some of these films like, you know, on some crazy shit. You know, like so. I'll probably give Book of Shadows another watch, man, another chance. Like I said, I never even bothered to rewatch it. But hey, if you say it's worth the mindfuck, I'll probably check it out, dude. I'll probably rewatch it, Johnny. But yeah, man, the original Blair Witch, great ending, dude. Great film overall, man. I love the Blair Witch. So yeah, all right. So number one, before number one, honorable mentions. Like I said, a lot of good endings, man. I had to pick out 5 honorable mentions before we get to my number one. So yeah, so the first honorable mention, of course, these are classics, man. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, one of the most classic endings of all time. It didn't make my top 5 list because, you know, I just love the fact, you know, he's left, you know, swinging the chainsaw all through the air. Sally escapes. Great cinematography, great style of, you know, the filming, the direction, you know, just classic, dude. Classic. Simple, but it's classic. You know, one of the most classic endings. So that's the first honorable mention. Next honorable mention. This one was close to making my list, but Saw, from the first Saw, the ending. This was another one where, you know, like it left people like mind blown, or not mind blown, but like, what the heck? You know, Jigsaw gets up from the floor, you know, after seeing him dead on the floor throughout the whole movie. And then after all the chain of events that went down, and then out of nowhere, he just stands up. Great, man. Great ending, you know. The Jigsaw character, Jigsaw Killer, was always, you know, a smart motherfucker. So he managed to make it work, you know. So yeah, I thought that was clever, dude. The ending, you see him get up, you see him like rip off like the, you know, his prosthetic or whatever it is, you know, his from his scalp and everything. Adam is just like there, like, what the, you know. And then yeah, man, of course he leaves Adam for dead there. Game over. Classic, man. Like I remember, I think I still get goosebumps watching that ending, dude. But for sure, first time I watched it, you definitely got those goosebumps, man. I could only imagine in 2004 when this came out, the audience, the reaction. I would have loved to seen that, man. Witness that, experience that. But yeah, actually, there's another one of the more profitable movies of all time. Of course, James Wan, man, Lee Winnell, were just students, film students or whatever the case was. They made a whole short film prior to this, you know, which I think is on YouTube. You know, kind of set like a blueprint for them, you know, to show that this film of theirs has potential. And yeah, man, I mean, shit, low budget movie. It ended up being one of the most successful franchises from the 2000s, dude. I mean, look at the string load of sequels it came out with after. But yeah, like I said, man, perfect example. This and Blair Witch Project, something simple could be really effective, man. So great ending, dude. So yeah, that's the second honorable mention. Next honorable mention, Nightmare on Elm Street, the original. I heard they shot a whole lot of different endings for this. You know, of course they get in the car or whatever, you know, Nancy and her friends. Then of course it's made out to be the card is Freddy, and it takes them, and then it just zooms into the little girls, you know, jump rope and stuff like that. Great ending. I love that. I thought it was always great, you know. Um, the final shot being the girls, man, the little girls on the jump rope. Um, with the whole nursery rhyme or whatever. Um, great ending. Like I said, they shot quite a few. Like they couldn't come to terms. They couldn't come to the same page for the ending. Uh, there was one alternate ending where Freddy actually, I guess, like the car transforms into like his sweater or something like that. There was a few different weird endings. They couldn't compromise to one. They couldn't come to one, but it was always Wes Craven's idea for it to end off with the little girls, man. So yeah, it kind of ended weird. Like you said, you never really understood the whole car thing, and then of course we got like the Freddy, coming out of like the coming out the little window from the door and carrying the Nancy's mom, which was like a dummy. It looked kind of silly, it looks kind of silly now, but yeah, it to me it's always how it ends with the little girls. That's kind of creepy. So pretty damn good ending, man. All right, next honorable mention, The Shining, dude. Shining. I just love how the final scene, the final shot of this is like the zoom in of the picture. Of course, when it's left with all this stuff, like it could be kind of confusing. I remember it was kind of confusing for me in the beginning. And of course, it zooms in with like Jack. I guess he was part of the whole, ghosts in the hotel or whatever. And of course, it kind of makes it seem to be like Jack Torrance was like part of this whole stuff, right? Kind of like, you could say, kind of like a deja vu thing. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of different perspectives, a lot of different ways you could take the ending to this, but it's great. I love endings where you could take it either one way or another. Like I feel it's up to the audience, up to your mind how to receive it, how to take it, and yeah, I just think that's eerie. I just think that's kind of eerie. We see Jack Nicholson. He was part of the part of the whole scenario. If you guys have a little bit more insight, what do you guys think about this ending? Like I said, it could be kind of confusing, but I thought it was always pretty damn good. So yeah, The Shining. All right, and then the last honorable mention before we get to my number one favorite ending, Sleepaway Camp. Sleepaway Camp, pretty good movie, a classic. It's not one of my favorite films. It's definitely grown quite a fan base. This is kind of considered, what year was this? This was 83. So yeah, this Sleepaway Camp is just another one of those movies that came after, you guys know, man, after like Friday the 13th and stuff like that. A lot of, camp kind of movies, The Burning, a lot of, Friday rip-offs. Sleepaway Camp is kind of one of those. Like I said, it's a good movie. I like the 80s vibes. You still feel like, it's still a really well made 80s movie, or not really well made. Like I said, a lot of stuff could be kind of like not played out, but repetitive. Like I said, this is kind of like a ripoff, of Friday. And what's it called? And but the ending, dude, from what I've seen people say, really left them like in shock. I could only imagine how people received it in the 80s, checking out this ending. From what I heard, people didn't really understand the ending at the time. Didn't really like. Now people love this ending, one of the most classic endings of all time, right? But at that time, it was kind of like weird, like what the heck, like like it was strange. But now people, they understand it more, and a lot of people consider this a movie ahead of its time. You could say kind of ballsy, because a lot of the whole, of course, we got Angela, I think that was her name. She ended up, turning out to be a guy, right? And at that time, there wasn't really a lot of that, in films or in anything at all, you know. But now it's more out there for sure. So by that point of view, by that aspect, it was a little ahead of its time, you know. But like I said, at that time, I'm pretty sure it was confusing to a lot of people. Like, what the heck? What's going on? You know? And just, you know, you see, you know, she's just left with just the shock in her face or whatever. You know, it's just it's a classic ending for sure, dude. Like I said, but it just didn't make it to my top 5 favorite. But that it's a classic scene, that it's a classic ending for sure it is. And then actually like the song that plays in the end credit scene. What's it called? Yeah, I like that song. What's it called? You're the one I've been looking for, something like that. You guys know what I mean if you guys seen it. Huh. But oh, dude, I got the He Loves Horror. Yo, what's up, man? Yeah, I have a few steelbooks here. This one, Texas Chainsaw, I had to get it, dude. I remember they came out with this. I just love it when movies carry the original movie posters, steelbooks, original movie poster, of course, for Child's Play. Yeah, man. Some of these I'm not the biggest steelbook fan. I'm not like the biggest steelbook collector, but when it has that damn original movie poster, I'm definitely going after it, you know. But good to see you on here. He Loves Horror. Hope you're doing good. Saw is dope. Yeah, man. Saw's a great ending. Great movie overall, but the ending is really damn good. Like I said, it's just like I wish they'd do more endings like that. You know, I know a lot of endings kind of ends with a twist and all that. For Saw, I saw the sequels were just sequels. Most definitely, He Loves Horror. Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, that's pretty much the point, you know. Like I said, Saw the original, low budget, from some film students, worked pretty solid, you know. Simple but effective. Producer Bob Shea wanted some sequel bait. Craven was against it. Yeah, for sure, man. I've seen Bob Shea talk about it. Of course, man. Bob Shea is the money man. You know, he's the you know, he was, you know, I guess executive. He was like the, you know, the one calling the shots, I guess, New Line Cinema. Of course, man. Bob Shea, you know, he's thinking of the money sign. So he tried to put his input. He tried to, you know, end it in a cliffhanger, make it room for it to set up for a sequel. Wes Craven was always against it. You know, a lot of these films started off with that movie, standalone movie, and that's it. You know, same thing, like I said, with John Carpenter, you know, with Halloween and stuff like that. But yeah, He Loves Horror, definitely. I know there was some back and forth for the Nightmare ending for sure. You know, like a lot of people put their sense in from the ending, the original ending we ended up getting. It's like a mix of, you know, different people's you know, input. And yeah, like I said, but it was from what I've seen, it was always Wes Craven's idea to end it with the, you know, little girls in the jump rope, which is great. You know, great ending. That's another one. Like, if Nightmare was a standalone movie, that would have been the perfect ending. I mean, mannequin quality. Also darkly comical. Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. He Loves Horror. Yeah, I'm telling you, like, now, if you see it now, my light is acting up. It's like, gotta throw in a new one. But yeah, I mean, if you look at it now, dude, it's kind of silly. Like, you could literally tell that's a dummy, a mannequin or whatever. You know, at that time, they could probably would have got away with it. I mean, from the documentary I've seen, even some people, you know, people who worked on the film and stuff like that, even at that time, to them, it looked dumb. It looked silly, you know? And like I said, especially now, with technology has improved, looks kind of silly, you know? But like I said, the laughs are still there, you know, it's more comical now, so for sure. It's like, kind of like a how do you call it? Like a jump scare kind of tactic or whatever the case was, you know? Uh, the movie got me into writing screenplays. That's dope, Johnny. That's really dope. Yeah, I heard a lot of cases like that. Scream really like inspired, because I think Scream was like you could say it's something we all relate to. Like we were all high school kids or whatever, and it kind of made us more. I feel Scream's more of a relatable movie than, like, let's say, Nightmare or like Halloween. So not just for the genre, Scream was a game changer, but I feel to a lot, like it introduced a lot of fans for sure, to the genre. Even till this day, I mean, people I've seen, like, in school and stuff like that, for film class or whatever, I've seen people still talk about Scream, being Scream being the film for them, that got them into films or screenplays, whatever the case may be. Scream is definitely a movie that is, you could say, studied, or that is shown like in film classes in school like that. Most definitely, man, because I think it's a really interesting piece of cinema, man, of film. Other than it being, of course, a silly slasher movie or whatever, it's still, in my opinion, a really important film for the genre as a whole, because, like I said, horror was pretty much dying out at that time, mid 90s, especially the slasher genre, like we had good psychological movies and stuff like that, thrillers in the 90s, Silence of the Lambs, pretty good, different kinds of movies, right? But Scream definitely brought back the what's it called, the genre, the slasher aspect, most definitely. I saw it 7 times at the theater with my late friend Patrick Bullock. Rest in peace. Oh, rest in peace, man. Rest in peace. That's great, man. Yeah. I could only imagine how it was watching Scream back in '96. Yeah, man. It just sounds, from the outside looking in, it just sounds like a great time to be like young kids, man. In high school and stuff like that. Like, yeah, and like I said, that I feel, since that was kind of the whole scenario with Scream, high school students or whatever, it really, like, you could say, had people, edging to check it out, like, you could say, for a lot of people, to ordinary person, that's Friday probably wasn't as interesting, Halloween or whatever, Nightmare. But Scream, I felt, was like one that, even if you weren't a fan, like, this was like an event. This was like a movie for sure to check out, You're just what I've been looking for. Yeah, man. Yeah, you know what? He Loves Horror. I listen to that song like every once in a while. It's like on my playlist for sure. I don't know. I like old school vintage music like that. Weird music like that. But yeah, it's on YouTube. It plays over the entire end credit scene. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Like I said, weird old school music like that always, like, captures it. You just feel, you could say, like, the soul. You feel like it's just a different time, man, in movies and music. But it's a solid song. I don't. It's not like part of my regular playlist. But it's for sure in, like, my horror movie, music playlist or whatever. I like the ending to Jason Goes to Hell. Freddy. You know what? Damn, man. I love the ending. I have no idea why I didn't make the list. Great ending, dude. Yeah, classic. That's another one where I'm pretty sure people were, like, shocked or, like, surprised, because, yeah, by that time, '93, Freddy vs. Jason was like a dream for a lot of fans, right? So I could only imagine how it was being a fan checking out Jason Goes to Hell and, watching that ending for the first time. Yeah, man, great. I love that ending. I have no idea. You know what? It's because, which we're about to get into, my favorite. I didn't really want to pick out sequels. That's what I try to do with even, like, the top 10 movies. Like, my next one is my top 10 favorite movies from the 1980s. There was a few sequels, I wanted to pick and throw in that list, but I'm like, I'm gonna try to stick to just, you know, movies that are like their first one or individual movies, you know, rather than sequels, because I know it got kind of challenging because some sequels you really like, you know, but there's better, more classic movies out there. So it was kind of a challenging, but for sure, Jason Goes to Hell, man, the ending, love that ending, man. Yeah, like I said, I'm pretty sure that was like a dream come true for a lot of fans. Uh, oh, He Loves Horror. Is that the new documentary that's coming out on Jason Goes to Hell, dude? I can't wait for that. I know they announced they released the poster. They released the poster not too long ago. I love it, dude. Dude, I really love Jason Goes to Hell, the movie. Um, I really do. Like it's just like a like Johnny said earlier, like kind of like a mind fuck. I don't know what it is, dude, but Jason Goes to Hell, man, has always stuck on to me throughout the years. I know Jason's barely in it, but that damn movie. So I can't wait for that documentary, man. Get like more of an insight, you know, full documentary on the making of it. There's a few, you know, behind the scenes on Jason Goes to Hell. You know, I've seen interviews with Adam Marcus, the director, I think that's his name, talking about Jason Goes to Hell. Awesome, dude. Yeah, I can't wait for that documentary, man. I'm definitely gonna be getting it on Blu-ray. Hopefully, it comes out on Blu-ray or physical media, whatever. Uh, I feel like even if you don't like Jason Goes to Hell, I think you should definitely check out the documentary because like you could learn a lot of different shit, dude. You know, like you really can. So I really can't wait for that. I like how October. Hold on, because he's almost into it on the month of October. Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah. A lot of different like, dude. I really wish movies would carry more like songs like that. Like in the 80s and the 90s, they had like a nice selection of music playing in horror movies. And then in the 2000s, we start that was kind of like the trend of like horror movies containing like rock and stuff like that. I mean, I think rock's been playing in horror movies before the 2000s, but in the 2000s we kind of got into the whole, like, what's it called, nu metal or something like that. uh like the certain type of rock, right? Another category under rock, like nu metal, I think that's what it is. Like pretty much when you hear nu metal, you just think you just know right away that's the 2000s, right? And I even like that, dude. Like I said, I know a lot of people didn't really like the whole nu metal and like horror movies, but I really do. I really do because that's, you know, my era. Grew up in the 2000s, so a lot of that music, you know, a lot of these movies, man, got me into the whole rock, you know, nu metal or whatever. They really did, you know. They don't really do that no more, man. You know. I know back then soundtracks was like a bigger thing than it is now, but yeah, I would love to see I would love to see more films with you know, soundtracks behind them. Collecting this year in case. Oh, that's sick, man. That's sick. Yeah, dude, it's always great. I love collecting hockey masks. This is my latest one. I've been having the hockey mask, but I recently had gotten the hood. 2009, we got the Jason Goes to Hell one right there. Yeah, man, I love it. You guys know it. I kind of it's kind of like a recent thing for me too, man. I kind of started getting into Jason hockey mask collecting like not too long ago, you know, or a while back, you know. But I definitely can't wait to own them all. You know, I definitely want to, you know, for example, like this one. This one's custom made. That's what I want to get back into, man. You know, I definitely want to do a part 8 as well. I think the part 8 is like, it's just like different. It's like so super yellow, which at first I didn't like, but I really want to make myself from Jason Takes Manhattan. But that's really dope, man. Rap rock, middle around 1998 to around 2003. Yeah, man. Yeah, late 90s for sure. Even Scream carried a nice. That wasn't really rock though, was it? The Scream soundtrack. But you could tell that's like late 90s. You know, that good late 90s feeling. You know. Nu metal. Oh yeah, nu metal. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, yeah, that kind of came into play late 90s, early 2000s. Even the Saw soundtrack has some good stuff in there, man. Like I said, they don't really do that no more. They don't really, do movies. I know, like I said, soundtracks were more of a thing back then. And Nino was on Freddy vs. Yeah, man. Oh yeah, definitely Freddy vs. Jason soundtrack, one of my favorites, for sure, man. I even have it on CD. That was I think that's like a introduction to a lot of us in the 2000s to that kind of music, Like I never really listened to music before rock. Like nu metal rock was like the very first music I fell in love with, and that's due to horror. That's due to horror, So they always come hand in hand. They always come hand in hand. Built the bus, just an eBay seller, right? That bus. I don't know if you mean this bus. This is actually just a mask. It's not really a bus. I mean, it is. You could convert it into a bus, but I have a few custom busts. Got that Freddy back there. I have a Jason one over here. But yeah, a lot of good busts out there, on eBay and stuff like that. I just love the ones that really look like damn screen accurate, dude. Like, that's why I started making my own, out of like shoe boxes or whatever, throwing on the masks, some acrylic eyeballs, just to make it more like lifelike, right? Most definitely, yeah. And I think that's the problem. It's kind of like out of like our, like as much as we would love to own it, it could get kind of pricey, man. And it's better to stay budget friendly, But hey, if I had all the money in the world, dude, I'd be going after all these really well-made busts, man. All these well-made like life-size pieces. Like that's like I feel like that's the ultimate dream for like a collector is get like the high-end, good quality stuff, man. Hell yeah, for sure. I love. I'm always watching videos like that, rather than watching videos like of the ordinary, mass-produced masks, which are great. I love mass-produced masks, officially licensed. Some better than others, of course, but I'm always watching like life-size stuff, busts. Love it, man. Definitely love it. Like I said, I think that's like the ultimate level when it comes to collecting. But yeah, even like I said, even on eBay, just by looking at them, scrolling and browsing, that's always fun too, Just to see the prices. Like I even like to check out prices, dude. Like okay, this like I kind of be comparing them, Like I said, some prices are always gonna vary, Red Right Hand Man, yeah, man, yeah, classic. I'm pretty sure a lot of people think of Scream when it comes to that record. I know like the OGs, been knowing that song. I'm pretty sure it came out before Scream came out. I think I'm not sure. I'm not totally sure, but yeah. And you know what? I like how people associate that song with Scream. That it really popular. It even made it back to the recent Scream movies, like in which one was it? Scream 5 or 6 when he kills Quentin. I still call him Quentin. because that's how I know him. That's how I know him, literally. From the Nightmare remake. I think that was Scream 5. That was Scream 5 when, you know, Ghostface kills him in his car, you know, and then he has like the radio playing, that song is playing. Yeah, man, great. Oh yeah, for sure, Johnny. Yeah, dude, Trick or Treat Studio, dude, they've definitely stepped their game up on a lot of stuff, dude. This Jason Goes to Hell mask, I've seen it was kind of like a hit or miss with people. Some people weren't like the biggest fan of it. I love it, dude. Like I said, I just recently got this one, this remake Jason, dude. It's like I've been having it for like a month now, maybe a month and a half now, and dude, it just became one of my favorite pieces in my collection, dude. I don't, like I said, I don't know if it's because it's my very first indie custom made mask in my collection. You know, it's more of a, you know, custom piece. It's not like mass produced. You know, it's like a mass produced where you're gonna get a bunch of you know, copies, and each copy is gonna vary. Like this one is specifically the hood, specifically custom made, sculpted. I wish I had the artist. I wish I had the artist's name in mind, man. But actually got it. I got it from another collector. He's the one that bought it from the artist himself. So I bought it secondhand, but yeah, for sure. Like, yeah, I mean, now I feel Trick or Treat Studios is like the face of like mass produced stuff. You know, like I know a lot of people. Some people don't really, you know, like I said, like mass produced masks. They rather stick to the indie stuff, which is cool. But like I said, man, to a lot of us, we go after the mass produced stuff, budget friendly. Not just that. For me, a lot of the, you know, mass produced stuff really, especially like the older stuff, like 2000s, really takes me back to that time, man. So I always love collecting mass produced, you know. So for sure, Trick or Treat Studio. This year, I know we went over the catalog. I did a little video on it. They got some stuff that I can't wait to get. The main one, I think, to me, that stood out, that I will be getting for sure, is the new Nightmare mask, which is pretty much, you know, another kind of same situation with the Jason Goes to Hell. It's pretty much like a reproduction of the Elusive Concepts versions of the masks that came out back then. That's what they're pretty much basing it off. But it's still dope. It's still dope that we're getting a new Freddy mask based on the new Nightmare. You know what, dude? I totally understand. That's gonna be another video I'm gonna do too, or live stream. I want to do a top 5 wish list of Trick or Treat Studios. Like pretty much give you guys like a 5 masks that I would love for Trick or Treat Studios to come out with. One of them, I know you guys are gonna be like, what the heck? Jackie Earle Haley's Freddy. We got the I think this is Ruby's, my brother's mask right here. I get it, dude. I get it. His makeup is the worst, you know. Shitty makeup in the remake. But I would love for Trick or Treat Studios to do that mask, because I feel they could possibly pull it off. Like this one, I want a remake mask with like the longer neck extension. This one is just goes to like the face right here. It's not like the neck. So that's one of the main reasons why I want Tots to do a 2010 mask. You know, I get it, shitty design, but if they were to do it, I'm definitely picking it up. You know. I use eBay. And then other. Yeah, he loves horror. Yeah, for sure. I have had some periods like that, where I kind of buy stuff back to back, you know, like, or really like I'm so invested into it that you just want to keep, because there's certain periods and certain times where you, like for me, I be browsing, I be going through it, every so and then, trying to see if they, if I have a certain piece in mind. I always try to go back and try to see if different people sell it for different, like I've gotten lucky with a lot of stuff, man. A lot of stuff I've gotten for less than what they usually go for. Perfect example, I don't know if you guys see that Saw Billy puppet back there, the Spencer's Paper Magic Group. Those go for probably like over 200, dude, on eBay. I was able to get it for like it was like 120, 130, something like that. 140 the most. Which it's not really like, it doesn't hurt the but like to me it really doesn't hurt the budget. Like that's something too, man. You definitely got to set your budget for collecting. It's all fun and games, right? But then it's all fun and games, but then you look at your card, right? Your transactions, you're like, what the heck, But it's all good to me. I don't really like trip like that, on because to me it's all worth it, to be honest, because like I said, because I have my budget. I have, I'm not gonna spend the money if I don't have it, or like if I really wouldn't have it, like if I don't have it, if I don't have extra to to invest in my collection, I won't do it. But it's definitely like, to me it's, I never like if I gotta have extra to know what I'm getting into. You know what I mean? Red Right Hand is a goth rock classic from the Bad Seeds, and yeah, Scream 5 at the end of Scream 6 as well. Okay, yeah, for sure, man. Like I said, that song really, you could say, is really associated with Scream. Like I'm pretty sure it was a classic. It was a classic song beforehand, but of course, you could say Scream put it back on the map, put it back on the charts. Yeah, most definitely. Definitely. That's one thing I heard. I heard a lot when, if your song, if you're an artist or whatever, makes it to like a soundtrack of a movie, that's like really like, I don't know if it is still now, but back then for sure, if you have a song on a movie soundtrack, that's like major. That's like really like people really were get paid pretty good. If your song made it to a soundtrack. I don't know if it is like that still now. I think it is. But it's just like, I don't know. I really not familiar with like how it goes down nowadays, with streaming and all that. But yeah, from what I heard, it's major having a song or your on a soundtrack, on a movie soundtrack. Oh yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, 25th anniversary Ghostface costume. I just did the Scream 6 costume test. I couldn't wait for it, dude, because before, most of the costume tests I've done with Scream and stuff like that, it was just a simple, cheap costume, with the one drape, with the one piece and stuff like that. And yeah, dude, I love that 25th anniversary costume. It just feels like you just feel really, it's like comfortable, like it's like, I don't know, it's accurate. You got the sparkle effect on there. Yeah, it's a great costume. I heard Trick or Treat Studios isn't as good with costumes. I don't have a Trick or Treat Studio costume. No, I don't. But the one I wanted to get from Tots was the Jigsaw robe. That'll be dope. That'll be really dope. Do a costume test, right? But I really want to get it. I think it goes for like 50, 60 bucks. But I really don't want to, spend that money. 50, 60 bucks ain't nothing, but I don't want to spend it if it's not going to fit me. Because from what I heard, it's not going to... It runs small. It runs pretty small. Like, let's say you get a size large and you're a large, it's gonna fit small. You know, it's gonna fit like a medium, from what I heard. But I hope they bring us a new one. I hope they bring us a new robe. I would love to own a Jigsaw robe. I remember as a kid, I made my own. I made my own out of like a hoodie. I just like sewed on like red pieces of cloth around the hood. Had, you know, like my parents or whatever sew like red pieces. So I dude, if you look at my very old videos, early videos, I think I have a video on that. You know, like 2014 or something like that. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. Johnny, Freddy vs. Jason. Love that soundtrack. Like I said, I feel it was a lot of great music in there. Slipknot, Seven Dust, Spine Shank had that song, beginning of the end. I love that. So I love that soundtrack, dude. That's like part of my, you could say, regular playlist. You know, a lot of songs in there. You know, love it. Love Freddy vs. Jason soundtrack, especially the song that how the what's it called, by El Nino, How Can I Live? Yeah, man, love that song. The Craft soundtrack. Gonna have to check it out, man. I don't think I have heard it, but yeah, man. I love going on YouTube checking out soundtracks, like, and I like to listen to them at its entirety. You know, if it's an album, a soundtrack, I'm gonna go through track after track. Yeah, man, a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff. I might do a soundtrack collection update too. I don't really collect them as much. You know, not the biggest soundtrack collector. I have a few on vinyl. I have a lot on CD. Not a lot. I have a nice handful. But it wasn't I wasn't intended to collect them. It was just something that I would go to the DVD store or whatever. They have CDs as well. You see them and they're like cheap, whatever, $5. Depends, you know. So yeah, and you know what? I actually have a. I'll show you guys once it might be a little short instead of a video. A short showing you guys my CDs. I have the Freddy vs. Jason soundtrack. You know, the rock songs, and then I also have another one. It's just a score. It's just a score. I guess the score that was composed for the movie. I have that CD as well, man. And I wouldn't really care, you know, to buy like the score. I prefer soundtracks with actual songs, like rock songs by artists. Not really like the whole score thing. But I just bought it because it was like $3.99 at the record store or whatever. So yeah, I'll be doing that. It's gonna be a little going through like my CD collection. Good piece of pop horror. Definitely gonna be checking it out, man. The Craft. The Craft. I don't even think I've seen The Craft, the movie. But definitely will be checking it out, man. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, even the opening credits. Yeah, to Freddy vs. Jason. You know, it kind of sets in the mood. You know, it just sets in like the vibe to what this film is gonna be. You know. Yeah, man. Just what a great time. What a great time for horror, I think. Alan Howarth and of course Harry. See these sales to play them. Yeah, you know what? He Loves Horror. I would love to own a like some kind of CD system. I have one right there. It doesn't really work though. If I do play a CD, it has to be on the PlayStation. You know, but it's kind of different. Like I want to play my music like on the system. Like I want to bump it. You know, like I don't want to just bump it out of the TV. You know. But for me, CDs are mostly like for collector, like more of a collector's piece. But hey, throwing one on every once in a while, it's always good as well, man. You know. I don't know, because I feel like CD quality is just, it's top notch. Like you can't get better than that. You know, if you go online, even like you go on YouTube or whatever platforms, Spotify, whatever, it's not like the quality isn't like, it's good, but it's not as great as like, let's say you having the exact rip from a CD. You know, like CD quality, I heard was always just more clear, just more, you know, more better. You know, so for sure, a lot of great composers, man. Alan Howard, John Carpenter, uh, uh yeah, man, a lot of great guys, a lot of great guys. Looking but very overpriced. Some Hammer horror CDs as well with rare cuts though. That's nice, man. That's nice. You know what? Yeah, I feel vinyls could be kind of overpriced, pricey. Like I said, I have a few, but that's because I came across them. You know, you guys know how it be at the used record stores. Uh, but I'm not really huge on them. Like I said, I feel prices have definitely skyrocketed for vinyls because vinyls kind of became like, dude, Walmart has a whole section of vinyls. You know, like they literally, dude, this is crazy. They have vinyls, a whole selection of vinyls that some don't even have DVDs no more. You know, of course Walmart still has DVDs, but they're definitely they're trimming down slowly. You know, so and like I said, it's crazy vinyls. Like there's a whole selection of vinyls because vinyls have they definitely, you know, came back into the scene. You know, people started collecting them again. It became like a trend again. You know, but of course that was like the that was the platform how to listen to music back then. You know, before CDs even was a thing. It was vinyls or cassettes, right? And of course, when CDs came into play, vinyls kind of died out. But then it came back, you know, with a whole new, you know, with a whole new people missing physical media and stuff like that. You know, yeah. So I feel vinyls is more. There's more collectors of vinyls than, let's say, you know, DVDs, even CDs, dude. I feel, dude, CDs have been wiped out from Best Buy every day. I used to buy, you know, CDs at Best Buy. Walmart still has a few, but it's really like a section, you know. It's like not. It's mostly like you know. I think new stuff that still comes out to this day, you know, like for sure, like for some soundtracks, for some releases, some projects still do get CDs, you know, but they're not as big as vinyls, you know. Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, CDs to me, I prefer CDs as well. I love vinyl. I have a vinyl player. That's too. That's what it is too, man. You gotta have something good, like a good record player. I have one of the cheap ones from where did I get it? I've been having it for like a long time. Crossley, I think those the main when you go to Walmart, you see the, you know, the cheap record players they have, you know, underneath the vinyls. That's the one I have. You know, like if you're really like serious about it, you like even because one time I was at a record store, right, and my brother was trying to buy like a vinyl, uh, and you know we were in the up register, you know, he was purchasing this vinyl, right, and the dude, the cashier who owns the, or I don't know if he owns it, but he works there, you know, he kind of started, you know, asking us what kind of record player we have. We told him Crossley, and he advised us to not even try spinning the record on there because I guess what was his explanation? I guess something. It was like the record player was too small or something about the needle. He said if you throw the record in there and it starts spinning and you drop the needle and it's gonna start skipping because I think he said it like I said, the base, the template of the record player is too small or too something, or the disc of the vinyl is too big that if you play it on one of these cheap ones, it's gonna be skipping, you know, the songs, and that can mess up your vinyl, right? And yeah, but that is true. That is true. You don't want to mess up your vinyls. You know, you gotta have something good. You don't want to play it on something cheap because yeah, it could harm the vinyl. scratch it, you know, with the needle and stuff like that. I've never had any issues with this vinyl player. I actually I have it in the Freddy bust. It's actually in there. The little record player. It's like holding the Freddy mask in there. But I never had issues with it. Maybe here and there it's probably skipped, you know, a few songs, but yeah, I recommend if you're gonna be serious about the whole vinyl collecting and stuff like that. I recommend you getting something good from the jump, from the beginning, so you can have that experience. Like you said, He Loves Horror. You gotta have a good system, good speakers. My speakers aren't even that great. They're Crossley as well, Crossley speakers. So, but you know, just something simple, something basic. It does do the trick. You know, it does do the trick most definitely. But yeah, for me it's CDs as well. For me it's CDs as well. Uh, Good soundbar with. Instant soundbar is solid, man. Oh yeah, man. Dolby, yeah, it's always great, man. I love speakers, dude. Like I have a like, cause you know I be connecting to the Bluetooth. I have like a Sony one, something simple, you know. You know what? I wanted to try this one now. I wanted to try out this speaker, Jeepers Creepers. They had this at Walmart. Back when, you know, you guys remember when Bloody Disgusting had like their little section of horror stuff. This was one of them. I don't know. I bought it, dude. This thing was like $30 or something. I gotta try it out, dude. I really want to check it out. I want to see how it sounds. I get it. It's probably gonna sound cheap. The main sell point to this is the whole truck, Jeepers Creepers, right? But I will be trying it out. I will be trying it out. Yeah, I might try it out on the next live stream with you guys. Who knows? But yeah, and you know what, dude? You guys know how Bloody Disgusting. They brought in some horror stuff, which was great. You know, they still have a few, like they're like on their second or third restock, like new stuff, you know. And I can't wait for the next one, man. Can't wait to get some more stuff. But dude, this was like part of their first how do you call it, their first inventory. And right away, dude, most of the stuff was sold out, like right away. You know, the Saw, I know they came out with a Hannibal figure, all different kind of stuff, right? In most Walmarts I've been, the stuff was gone like this, empty. But I would always see this damn speaker there, like a lot of them too. Like people didn't touch these, they weren't selling or whatever the case is. I think because, okay, like I said, it was like $35, kind of steep for, you know, a little speaker like this, you know. Like I said, I think the main sell point to this is the Jeepers Creepers. Or it could be simply the fact that people don't bother spending their money on Jeepers Creepers items, if you guys know what I mean. Yeah, I think that's what I think. I think, yeah, it is kind of steep, 35 for a little speaker. I mean, a speaker's a speaker, right? But like I said, people don't want to, you know, people don't want to spend money on, you know, anything affiliated with Jeepers Creepers. That could be the case, man. But yeah, these were stocked up at Walmart. I haven't seen them in a while, but yeah, these weren't selling at one point, you know? Like everything was gone. A plush here and there. Another thing that really wasn't selling was like the little 3D art poster thing for Friday the 13th Part 3. That one was always there as well. A plush here and there, and then a shit ton of these, you know? But yeah, I don't know. It's just, I'm just curious how to check it out, how it sounds, you know. Oh man, yeah, like I said, man, yeah, I used to go to Best Buy to buy CDs, man. You know, like rap, hip hop CDs, and I'm glad they would still carry like a lot of the old, cause I'm into like the old school rap. They would still carry a lot of good old school rap, man, CDs and stuff. That's where you see all of that. A lot of that is CDs, mostly rap. But but yeah, dude, Best Buy was good. At one point, it was really good with CDs, even with movies, man. I would love to go to Best Buy. I don't know. I don't know if I heard. I don't know if it's a rumor, dude. But I heard something. I read something online the other day that Best Buys were shutting down or something. I'm not sure. You know what? I kind of predicted it ever since they completely took all the movies out. Uh, I feel like that was kind of like the beginning of the end for them, man. Because I don't know, but I could see them going out of business probably in the next years or so. Because yeah, I don't know. It's just Best Buy's just like, dude. Because we have Amazon now, we have all this stuff, right? You guys remember Fry's? I loved Fry's, man. That's like another electronic store. The only thing I ever bought at Fry's was the It DVD, the original It miniseries for $5. I bought it at Fry's. That's my only memory I have of Fry's. But yeah, man, we have all this, we have all this other, Amazon. Like I said, people don't really want to go to stores no more. Don't really want to. Like I remember me going to Best Buy, man. Whenever, we wanted to get like a electronic, either it was like a new TV or whatever, a new phone or a new whatever. It was always like like it was kind of like a fun going in there because you would obviously have to go in there, see for yourself, ask questions and all this stuff. Like it was always good. It was always good. But yeah, we no longer have that, But I love Best Buy, dude. I was bummed out when they wiped out all the DVDs, Like now they have where the DVDs were. I think they just have like TVs, dude. More microwaves, more all that, But you know what? Also, I think what kind of replaced the DVDs were now there's like a shit ton of toys in Best Buy. Back then it was like a little section. They have NECAs. Now they have like aisles of toys in Best Buy. So that kind of sucks, dude. That kind of sucks. Just a day could have a go to such a chain. How physical made it RG the way of display. Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure, man. Best Buy, if you take a look at Best Buy 10 years ago, I loved it, dude. I loved it. I have a lot of memories in Best Buy. Good prices, too, dude. You would find stuff for like $5, Yeah, man. Great. I'm ready to get high and watch House of a Thousand Corpses. That's what's up, man. Yeah, hey, man. I know there's certain movies that are like, it's just a trip, If you watch high, I'm pretty sure House of a Thousand is one of those. It's just a trip, man. Overall, House of a Thousand Corpses is just a trip, But that's what's up, man. Definitely great way to end the night. Great way to end on a Friday night, especially, right? That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Adobe, it's a solid system. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. You know what? I need to get. I definitely want to get like a good system to be able to connect it to the TV. Not this TV, not my TV here in the room, but like for the living room. Of course, the living room is like the where the main, you could say it's the living room, damn. But yeah, that'll be dope. Definitely. They were telling me we've been trying to do that, trying to get a nice system for the TV, either it's music or movies. Hell yeah, man, even movies sound badass on its freaking system, So yeah, I gotta get something for the TV. I bought the Krampus doll. Oh, that's sick, dude. Krampus, yeah, that's sick. That's what's up, man. Great. I'm pretty sure that's a great addition, as a collector. A good addition for the collection, I bought the Rob's movies, Devil's Rejects. Yeah, man, Devil's Rejects was good. Halloween's they've grown on me for sure. They're still all Rob Zombied out, but hey, man, compared to like the ones we've had recently, the latest, yeah, man. I mean, you gotta respect Rob, man, because hey, you might not like his music, you might not like his movies, but you gotta respect him, dude, because he did his own thing, man. He did his own thing. He didn't go out there, you know, and do a shot by shot remake of Halloween, you know. Uh, of course, you know, there were certain scenes he did, you know, get from the original, but he added his own twist there. Like I said, feels like a Rob Zombie movie. They feel like Rob Zombie movies, you know. So he kept it true to his core. He kept it, you know, his style. He didn't switch it up to try to, you know, how do you call it, satisfy the Halloween fans, you know. So that's what you gotta respect about the man, you know. Same thing with Halloween 2. He did his own thing, you know. He has like that. He has his own lane. He has his own, you know, style, and he incorporated it in the Halloweens. Obviously, his style is not, uh, 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 you know, Michael Myers Halloween style, but it's always a good. It's always a good watch, man. It's always a good time watching them or whatever, you know. In Halloween 2, all that weird shit, you know, the white horse and all that weird shit, but we're just right there entertained, you know, for some reason. But yeah, my favorite Rob Zombie movie is probably The Devil's Rejects, I think. Yeah. I don't know. I've always liked Devil Rejects a little better than House of a Thousand. I love House of a Thousand Corpses. Classic, man. Classic characters. Rest in peace, Sid Haig. We got Bill Moseley, man. That should have been just that. They shouldn't never done Three from Hell. You know. I don't know. Oh shit, that's crazy, Johnny. Hey man, imagine, yeah, that'll be crazy if you own some. If I were to own something like that, you know, just hear some, like the Chucky, like just moving out of the box, the Jigsaw moving out of the box, that'll be crazy. Like would you guys? Obviously, we don't want to bring like no like how do you call it? We don't want to bring no bad energy, right, to our homes. But would you guys actually stay with something like that? Like if you guys had like a doll or something, and it's like it be moving around and shit like that. Would you guys actually keep it? Like I know we love horror. We're diehard horror fans, right? But would you guys actually keep it? I don't know, man. That's a tricky question. Like I said, we don't want to bring that energy at home. Have that at home, but I don't know. That's weird. I don't know. That's kind of creepy, kind of eerie, you know? Yeah, man. Yeah, really brutal. Halloween movies are really brutal. Um, really brutal for sure. Like I said, they're all Rob Zombied out. Devil's Rejects is all brutal. For sure, man. So you gotta give it up to the man. You gotta give it up to him. I don't know if he's still doing movies, man. But he definitely should get back into, should get the wheels rolling again. My favorite rapper, man. I always kind of struggle with that because I don't really like have like a certain rapper, you know. A lot of greats, man. Like I said, I'm mostly the old school rap, but I will say my favorite rapper, as of now, or not now, I would say for the past few years, I kind of was introduced to his music later on. Like I didn't grow up on it, but my favorite rapper, man, the one that came to my mind is Big Pun. Love Big Pun. I just think he was a beast, dude. He was sick on the mic. He was vicious with the rhymes, you know, like he really like just the whole style, you know. Of course, we got like Tupac, great music and stuff like that. That's the kind of music rap I like. Like I really couldn't tell you much about the new rap, you know, nor like the 2000s rap. I know like Lil Wayne and stuff like that. But I stick to the older stuff, man. But yeah, to me, I think it's Big Pun. hope you guys have heard of Big Pun. Kind of underrated, dude. Like people don't really, I know a lot of people like, Biggie, Tupac, they're like up there, right? Like the hip hop legends, right? But I think Big Pun is up there as well, man. I really wish people would, throw him in the conversation a little more. Yeah, Corporal Hicks. Yeah, man, dude. Yeah, for sure. Because just I don't know, dude. Because if you buy stuff online, you get it. That's it. I feel it's always better in person. You know. But yeah, fries. I had one fries in my area. I remember being there. I have early memories being there as a kid, seeing all like they have like big at like in mine they had like a big spider like props or whatever they are. Like it was like a really nice how do you say it, organized and decorated place, dude. Like they had all types of props, all you know awesome stuff, and I don't know if in your guys' fries, I'm pretty sure this is like their mascot, their main logo, but the fries, the entrance, the entrance where it says fries on mine, it had like a UFO crashed. I'm pretty sure it's like that in all of them, right? Yeah, that's how I. It was just always dope, dude. Just like seeing that, like it just made you want to go in there. Like I remember always seeing this damn store. Never really, because we already by that time we already had Best Buy. It would mostly Best Buy would be the go-to. Like people kind of forgot about fries, but later on, I think we went there for one. I forgot what we went for, man. But it wasn't my choice to go. Like I wasn't the one who said take me there or I want to go there. But I ended up going there, man. Like the last time I've ever been there. Like I said, I have early memories as a kid there. Didn't buy nothing back then, but there was one more time that I ended up going back, and the only thing I ever bought there was the original It for $5, man. I remember they had vinyls too, like their little section, they had vinyls and stuff like that. But yeah, man, fries was pretty dope, Agreed. I try so hard. Both and whack overall. Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's just something. I just think it was too late. I think it was too late. Of course, man. Bill Moseley and Sherry Moon. We love them, right? They're great, but it was just. I just think it was too late. It was too late. I think that ending in Devil's Rejects where they get into the shootout with the cops. Perfect ending, dude. Perfect ending. And then of course we got the classic song playing. What's it called? I forgot what's it called, but it was a great ending, dude. Like it really was. I know to most of us they died, right? They got shot up. They had a shootout with the cops or whatever. Next thing you know, they're alive. They got locked up in Three from Hell, and I know Sid Haig was supposed to have a bigger role. He was mostly in the script, but of course, unfortunately, he ended up passing away, which I'm pretty sure, messed with their script or whatever. But let's say, of course, Sid Haig probably would have made the movie better. But let's say if Sid Haig didn't pass away and he was in it, I just think it would have been too, like, I just think it was the storyline. It was the storyline. They go to Mexico, all this shit, right? They're on the run. Yeah, man, I couldn't get into it, dude. I tried watching it like twice or something. But yeah, I just couldn't get into it. I really couldn't get into it. Like I said, it was great seeing Sherry Moon and stuff like that, but I just think the storyline sucked, Which, Ghostface, what's up, man? Which Jigsaw mask is that you have in the back? This one, Saw Pig. This is the Trick or Treat Studios one. Got this like last year at Party City or 2 years ago. Saw Pig mask. I know they were kind of, I don't know if they were sold out, but there was a point, I don't know if it is now, if it's still now. They were kind of going pricey on eBay. That's what usually happens. That's what happened with the Leatherface masks. They were like, sold out. They were just out completely, and they pretty much, once something is sold out. People, you know, sell it a little bit more pricey on eBay, but they Trick or Treat Studios eventually started producing more Leatherface masks. But yeah, this pig mask, Saw pig mask, is the Trick or Treat Studios one. Pretty damn good, dude. Pretty damn good. I love it. I also have the Don Post. It's my brother's Don Post. I think that's Don Post, right? Yeah, it's Don Post. They're older masks. Love it. I really do love it. Cause in the original Saw, that's what they actually used. They used some Don Post pig masks. They just, you know, custom made it look like terrifying or whatever. And you know what? That's dope. I've seen that people actually do that. They buy like one of those older, you know, regular pig Don Post masks, and they themselves create it to make it look like the Jigsaw, right? And of course, that's like the authentic way, you know, because kind of same thing with Myers, you know, Captain Kirk mask. I've seen people, you know, buy one regular Captain Kirk mask, and they themselves make it out, customize it into Myers, which, like I said, that's how it was done. So that was like the authentic way to go about it, you know. So yeah, the Don Post pig masks are pretty good. I really do like them as well, man. But Tots did a good job as well with this. It's great time. If I need a shower, hit to bed. No worries. He loves horror. Appreciate you tuning in, man. Great conversation today. Gonna be heading out here soon as well. Gonna be going over my last favorite. My bad, guys. I know this is my top 5 favorite horror movie endings, right? But it's just always great, dude. Like getting engaged with you guys, you know, chopping it up, conversating. But likewise, dude. Hope you have a good one, man. Hope to catch you on the next one, man. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend. The one you have at the top. Oh, this one right here, the Billy mask. This is I think it could be Don Post as well, man. I'm not really sure, or Ruby's. I'm not sure, but this is one of the older Billy Jigsaw masks from the 2000s. You know, these were everywhere in the 2000s. They would be at like CVS. They would be like at Walmart. I actually got it on eBay though. I got it on eBay years back. I love it, dude. I love that mask. But yeah, I think it's Don Post. Or no, I'm wrong. It's not Don Post. It's Paper Magic Group. Paper Magic Group. There we go. Same company that came out with the doll right here. Yeah, Paper Magic Group. They came out with most of the Saw stuff. So yeah, Paper Magic Group, Billy mask. I never got into the Trick or Treat Studios Billy mask. Something about it, I just never really. It's a good, really nice, you know, looking mask. But since I got so used to this older one from 2000s, I just love it. To me, that's the Billy mask for me. You know, the Tots one is good, but it just never really resonated with me. Like it never really. Like I never really felt upgrading. You know, like there's certain masks, of course, yeah, you gotta upgrade to, for example, of course, like, but this is like an obvious one, the Rob Zombie masks, Tots, right there. Before we had like the Fun World one. Of course, you know, you gotta upgrade. But yeah, but for Billy, that one has always been the one for me. I don't know. I'm glad it hasn't like been damaged or like, you know, kind of like how do you say, like kind of like yellowish. Nah, man, not at all. Still holds up pretty good. Only thing it does probably have is dust, collecting dust, because that's where I usually have it, you know. But yeah, it's a really good mask, dude. Really good mask. It's still kind of affordable. It's not that rare too. I think if you guys go like on eBay or something, you guys could come across it for a good price, even with a tag. Even with a tag, I've seen some with the actual tag that go for pretty nice price, man. So definitely check that out if you guys would like to. The one, have a good one. He loves horror. Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely have a good night. He loves horror. You like any action movies? John Wick. You know what? Not really. There was one that I watched the other night. It was on AMC. What's it called? It was the third one of God, what's the movie called? Uh, dude, the name's literally there. Dude, I can't believe I'm blanking out. Not Expendables, not that. God, Jesus, I can't remember. I can't remember. But no, honestly, I'm not the hugest action fan. Of course, we have good action movies, like, you know, some of like the early Marvel films and stuff like that. What else? I know yesterday one of you guys asked me about Terminator. I have not seen Terminator. Uh, but that there is a lot of good action movies. There's a lot of good ones for sure. A lot of classics. But I never really got into them, man. Like I said, they're dope. They're dope. You know, I feel like they're. It's not really one of those films that I would watch for the heck of it. You know, just for the night or whatever the case may be. I feel like an action movie. I would watch, like, let's say on a date night or something, you know, at a movie, at the movies, you know. But for fun, yeah, action's not really my go-to. I'm trying to think, man. I can't think of any right now. Action. Yeah, I never been too big on the action ones, you know. But for sure, there's a lot of good, because the only ones I've seen, honestly, are like the early Marvels. Those are the only ones that I have in mind right now, and like the early superhero movies and stuff like that. But yeah, not really. But I know John Wicks and stuff like that. A lot of films like that. I'm still trying to think of that freaking movie I watched the other day, dude. Like I watched it. It was on TV, right? And I just ended up watching it. Like I stayed stuck, you know, watching it. It was kind of interesting, you know. God, dude, I don't recall. Uh, he's like a cop. And I think he's a cop. It was like the third movie. It was like number 3 of this franchise, and he has a girl with him, a lady, a chick lady, a cop. She was like a cop, and then like they like team up or whatever the case is. Going after going after the criminals or whatever. That was pretty good. Like it had some good action stuff, you know. But yeah, I don't recall. Though. Yeah, Jigsaw rules. Yeah, I think that's what it is, huh? You just gotta be in the mood for it. Like I said, I could be pissed. I could be sad. I could be happy as shit. I'm good with horror anytime, you know. But yeah, with action, yeah, you gotta. I feel like you gotta have you gotta have a bright mood. You gotta be like hyped or something. I really don't know. But yeah, for sure, there's certain moods, you know. But yeah, but for me, horror is like always the go-to. Corporal Hicks, interesting, dude. You know what? I actually never heard about that. According to James Cameron, I did not know that. I did not know Terminator was inspired by the first Halloween movie. That's crazy. I think I gotta watch it. I gotta watch it to really kind of pick up on that, to kind of really have more insight. I've never seen Terminator. Arnold, I can't pronounce his last name. Schwarzenegger, probably butchered that, but of course, man, iconic actor. You know, classic role. For sure, it definitely holds its weight. You know, but I really haven't seen it. Like I said, because those movies action movies like that never really like fascinated me for some reason. I don't know, dude. Is it because I'm boring or something? I really don't know, dude. I really don't know. But I mean, it's always great, dude, to step out. You could say out of the ordinary, you know, horror or whatever. Explore other genres and stuff like that. I like comedies; they're okay. You know, dramas. I like drama. I like drama films as well. But yeah, it's just I don't know. It's crazy, but that's crazy though. I did not know that. You know, for the first Terminator was inspired by the first Halloween. I gotta check it out. Like I said, I gotta see for myself. But yeah, guys. So all right, dude. My number one favorite horror movie ending of all time. I know some of you guys, came in trying to find out what my top 5 endings were, right? We just went over them, but we're left to my number one favorite. All right, my favorite horror movie ending of all time. I know it's not it's not one of my favorite movies of all time, not at all. This is actually from the 1980s. And as you guys know, I'm in the middle of doing a top 10 favorite 80s horror movies, and this one's not even in my top 10. It's a classic for sure. We all love it, right? But as a movie, there's more better movies in the 80s. But the ending to this, man, always stuck to me as a kid. And always, it's just a great ending. Friday the 13th. Yeah, man. Love this ending. We got, what was her name? Alice. Of course, after, her showdown with Pamela. She escapes or whatever. She finds, she's in the boat. And then after, I guess, that's what they kind of try to make it out to be. Kind of end the horror movie like a happy ending. Of course, she lives happily ever after, right? That's kind of like the vibes I got. You get. Because, of course, the song playing, like the music playing in the background. It's like supposed to be this happy ending, right? The chick escaped. Then out of nowhere, dude, like Jason comes out of the water, right? Out of the lake and drags her down, Classic ending. Because I feel like, because of course, we knew Jason in the first one. Of course, he's the main reason why, Pamela's doing what she does, right? So it was good to see that. I'm pretty sure at this time they weren't intending for Jason to be like the killer for the rest of the franchise, but I think it was still a nice touch, man, to have the boy show up out of nowhere, the boy that caused all of this pretty much, and he just looks so creepy, dude. Like, I've seen some behind the scene photos. I think, who was it, Tom Savini? I could be wrong. Is it Tom Savini? He did a good job with the makeup effect on Jason, on the young Jason. I know we also had, like, early in the movie, or not early, I think it was kind of towards the end still, we had, certain clips of Jason drowning. But yeah, dude, this ending, love it. And then, of course, she does end up, like, I guess that was like she was like hallucinating or whatever, a dream or whatever. Or not a dream. I'm pretty sure that shit actually happened, but she ends up at the hospital, and then they're like asking her, or like, they're pretty much, trying to, comfort her, pretty much. Doctors are telling her she's like doing, she whatever she went through, right? Hope she's doing okay, the victory speech, right? And then out of nowhere, she's like, what about the boy? And they're like, what boy? Jason. They're like, what the heck are you talking about? Like, there was no boy out there, I just thought that scene was always clever, it was just, I don't know, it was just, because I feel like since we all love Jason, right? He was like, that was like the start, to me, that's like the, how do you call it? The, shit. That's like the main scene that stands out to me. The star scene in Friday. A lot of classic scenes in this. A lot of classic kills. I love the kills in this. But just that ending, dude, with Jason coming out of the lake and bringing her down. I know they try to recreate that scene in part 3. But I think it was Pamela this time. Pamela, she came out of the lake, which was it was okay, you know. It was a nice reference to the original, you know. The makeup effects is always great, you know. But yeah, it just hits different in the original. It really does, man. I would love to own like a life size like Jason, young Jason, how he looked in that scene, man. That would be dope. That would be really dope because there's just in my area, not in my area, probably like a few cities down. There's like this museum, man. It's called the Mystic Museum. I think that's. Let me look. Yeah, it's the Mystic Museum. I think I've done a video there. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I might do. They have some nice props, dude. They have like they have like a life-size Candyman. I don't know if they still have it, dude. I think even, dude, this spot, this little museum made. It's not like a huge museum. You could tell it's like a, you know, it's a little, you know, little shop, man, kind of place. Definitely has grown throughout the years, but I believe it made the news a while back. It made the news because I think it made the news, but it was all over Instagram because I guess someone had stole one of their props. It was like a bust of the Crypt Keeper or whatever his name is from Tales from the Crypt. Someone stole like a bust from there, and like, you know, they went on Instagram, you know, trying to, you know, track down whoever did this, you know, spread the word out, right? And I guess, you know, the community though, and it's funny because they kind of try to say like the horror community, we're so tight, and we're so, you know, the community is so strong as a whole, like together, like they can't fuck with us, like they can't fuck with the horror fans, that they actually tracked the dude down, I think. And I don't know if they pressed charges, something like that. I think they did press charges for, you know, stealing that Crypt Keeper bust. Hey, man, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes, man, you know. Definitely gotta, like, they were right. They were definitely on board on spreading the word. And like I said, the community is just so tight, man, that they were actually able to get the guy. Like I said, I don't know if he got locked up, but I know they kind of pressed charges, you know. Yeah, they kind of try to, you know, they did like a whole police report and all that, trying to, you know, do something about it, which is, you know, most people will be like, you know, of course bummed out, but some people like wouldn't really, you could say, do much about it, you know. Like I feel like a lot of people's perspective is like, okay, they stole something, okay, where are we gonna find them, you know? But that's not necessarily the case, man, you know. And they posted like the security footage, their camera footage of you know, the guy that stole it. And yeah, dude, they were able to get it back. They were able to get it back, and that's dope, man. But my point is, that little museum, that little shop, they had, I don't know if they still have it now. They had a life size of that Jason, and they had like a little boat on the side with the Camp Crystal Lake sign. That was really dope, man. Here, I'm gonna show. I think I have a picture. I don't have a picture of the Jason. I think I have it like on my archives on Instagram, but I don't have it on this phone. But I think in this one I have one picture of like the entrance. I was literally, I don't know what I was doing here at night this day, man. It was already like night. What time was it? It was 9:34 in August. Obviously it was closed, but I passed by there, dude, and dude, this is sick. Like I would love, like if I had the space, I would love to own this, have this here in my damn room. But in the front of the store, they have like this big ass prop, this big ass piece of the Sleepaway Camp poster. You know, the Adidas shoe with the knife going through it. They have like this, it's a big ass prop they have in the front. This is like the front of the store, front of the shop museum. You know, that always stood out to me, dude. Like I remember when not when they barely opened, but when I first found out about this, that's like the first thing I noticed is this damn piece, this damn prop. Yeah, man, that's sick. That's really cool. That's like the entrance right there. And then I kind of try to zoom in. Of course, it's close here. It's nighttime. I try to, like, you guys know, peek through the window and stuff like that. They have like a Sam right there prop. So yeah, they have like life-size props like these. They have like a little Evil Dead. They had, I think this is the girl from Evil Dead, right? The original? I don't know. But yeah, they have like the other characters from Evil Dead, like the original Evil Dead, the other dude. I forgot his name. But yeah, it's really cool. They have life size. They have life size props like these. You know, sleepaway camp. Sick. But yeah, they also have like a you know, a Jason based on the ending of Friday the 13th, which is dope, dude. I would love to have in my collection, you know. But yeah, man, I claim. But yeah, dude. I mean, yeah, those were my top 5 favorite horror endings of all time. I apologize, guys, but that's how it is, man. You guys know how the live streams be going, and it's all to the good. You know, it's all to the good. I know early on in the live, I mostly went through all of them, and then I spent like the next hour just chopping it up, man. But it's great, dude. I always have a great time conversating with you guys. Just talking horror, man. Talking of all different kinds of stuff, man. You know, physical media. Especially on a Friday night, dude. That's why I know I was just live yesterday. But I felt like, man, it's Friday night. I'm like, I don't want to go out. I don't know. Sometimes me personally, this is how I feel. I don't even want to go out, man. I'm just trying to chill and enjoy my damn horror collection. You know, I just want to chill, dude. I just, like, of course we have different modes, right? Sometimes we're like, oh man, I'm trying to be on the road today. I'm trying to go out. I'm trying to, you know, get into something, but not really, dude. Not as much no more. I just be working, you know. That's the only time I've been working. I've been picking up extra shifts, you know, and you know what? I've been working, like my schedule's always changing, you know, which I don't mind. I really don't care, dude. Like, there's some nights I work like in the nights, and then others in the mornings, but it's okay. I really don't care, you know. Like, some people like to have a set schedule, but to me, I don't mind, because it kind of sets out mood for the different times of the day, you know. So yeah, but like I said, man, Friday night, I'm chilling, man. I don't want to go out, so decided to go live today, man. So appreciate you guys watching, tuning in today. My top 5 favorite horror movie endings. I'm gonna probably put them, whoever watches this like in the replay or after the fact, I'm gonna put them on the description, the titles of my top 5 endings, because I'm pretty sure, you know, people are not gonna go through through the whole live stream to, you know, find, or I don't know. I don't know. I'll probably won't even throw them in there. Make them watch the whole live, right? No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, man. Thank you guys for watching, man. Let me know what you guys think. That was my top 5 horror movie endings of all time. All right, let me go through them real quick. Number 5, Carrie. Number 4, Child's Play. 3, Halloween. 2, Blair Witch Project, and then of course Friday the 13th. So yeah, man, pretty cool. Make sure you guys stay tuned for more videos. Like I said, my next video is probably gonna be my top 10 horror movies from the 80s, man. I can't wait. It's kind of a challenging list to put together, man, because dude, like a lot of my favorites come from the 1980s, you know. Like, to me, the 80s is like the prime horror at its peak, you know what I mean? So it was kind of hard. Like, I'm still debating, you know, what to add in this list, but it's for sure, I'm working on it. Good pick. It's a good ending. No one saw Jason coming. Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. Because of course the aspect, the point of view, he drowned, right? So it was just so, and like I said, the whole happy music. It set out to be a happy ending. You know, she lives happily ever after. You know, and then out of nowhere, Jason comes out. So yeah, so you know, jump scares were kind of like already a thing back then. Jump scares were already, I know they ended up getting played out, you know, in like modern movies and stuff like that, but great jump scare, man. One of the best for sure. Do you, can you consider that a jump scare? I don't know. Of course, probably back then that wasn't the term for it. Uh, but it's pretty much the same thing, you know. Killer choice, yeah, man, yeah. Fantastic ending right here. I did an exhibit there. Oh yeah, dude, yeah, the coffee shop. Yeah, I think I know which one you're talking about. I never been there. Uh, but and I am a coffee person. I love coffee, but actually never been there. I never been there. I really, I don't know. I just, is it true coffee is really damn expensive, like in shops, or is that just Starbucks? Like that's what I always hear all the time. Like people always, I hear, you know, people always complaining about them spending way too much on coffee instead of doing it at home. I love coffee here from home, man. That's how I do it. But but yeah, I think I know which one you're talking about, dude. It's not too far from there. Yeah, yeah. I think that one. I know there's a lot of people that really. I've seen content, like a lot of content creators, I guess TikTok or whatever. They go to these places and they show it off, man. And yeah, it's pretty cool. I think they have like a Billy in there, a Billy the puppet and like a tricycle, I think. But it's nicely decorated as well. So yeah, man, for sure. But yeah, the Mystic Museum, man. If you guys are in the LA area, go check that out, man. It's in Burbank. This one's in Burbank. Burbank has a lot of good stuff, man. You know what? I was gonna do a video, a live. I was gonna do a live of me going there. Not there, but I wanted to go to the Halloween stores around there. Which I've done videos of. I've done of Halloween Town. I've done a few videos there. You know, when I go, it's been a while, but I this time I might do it live. I might do it live. Um, yeah, I'm definitely gonna set it up, man. I'm gonna try to, you know, plan it out whenever I'm free. I know those shops be closing kind of early too, so I'm gonna see when works the best for me, and gonna take my time. We're gonna go down there, and I'm gonna bring you guys with me, man, on a live stream. There's like 2-3 stores I wanna, and the museum that I wanna, you know, take you guys on. So I know you guys will like that. That'll be pretty cool. So so yeah, man. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. Likewise, Corporal Hicks, Johnny, Jigsaw. Shout out to you guys, man. Hope you guys have a great rest of your night, great rest of your weekend. You guys stay safe. Hope to catch you guys on the next one. It's the Michael Myers signing out.